Last time on Adventure Adrift, we planned and prepared to cross the Columbia River Bar, crossing at slack tide through a fog bank out to a choppy and windy Pacific Ocean. Maintaining a course far offshore to avoid gale force winds and much larger seas closer to shore, we adjusted to life in the choppy ocean swells, catching a nice tuna along the way.
G'day guys, how are you all?
Hello, just here out at Santa Cruz Island now, hanging out, enjoying life.
Second time at Santa Cruz Island. We made landfall on the north side of this island,
which you'll see in this video coming up. So stay tuned. Get to see the second half of our passage down to the Santa Cruz, Santa Barbara and Ventura.
And we're going to continue with this nice, cool, super hot hike. It's very hot. See you later, guys.
We had been sailing with 2 reefs in the main and a staysail out for quite a few days with a steady 20 to 30 knots of wind. But finally, on day 7, the wind died down and it was time to shake out the reefs and roll out the Genoa. So it is now day 8. Headed back towards shore. Almost headed into the Channel Islands, Santa Barbara area. Should be there maybe in 2 days. Headed way offshore to avoid some crazy, So anyways, we headed way offshore to avoid the 40 knot winds and 17 foot seas at 5 or 6 seconds. So by the time we got down past San Francisco, California kind of curves in and we had to keep kind of heading south to stay out of it. So as of yesterday, we turned east, head back into California, but about 290 miles we had to sail back to shore. And we had quite a bit of wind, mid-20s, high 20s. Throughout the week, the highest gust I had was 35.9 knots. Pretty big seas. Last night we had mid-20s, I had a gust to 27, 28 knots. And now today we have no wind. It's completely calm, except for the swells. So we're just sitting here, not moving, rocking back and forth in the swells. So I'm making some cookies. Ty and David are trying to put the spinnaker up right now to see if we can move at all. This is making it really, really difficult to make the hike. There we go.
Oh, look at that beauty.
Wow. Not going the direction we want to go, but
Hey,
moving. Let's put the spinnaker out.
Good.
It's a nice, this is what the weather forecast called plenty of sun this afternoon. This is our plenty of mist, I would say.
Yeah, it is wet and misty.
Super wet and misty.
And calm right now compared to what we've had the last few days, so
It's a nice break, actually.
time to play with the spinnaker.
Spinnaker. Chocolate cookies with some almonds and craisins in them. Next tray is just about to come out of the oven. We're just off California and it's supposed to be sunny there, but we don't have any sun yet, so we're waiting for it. It's been so wet the last few days, and the last 2 or 3 days it's been really misty, so everything is just damp. The settees are all really damp. Our clothes are all damp. The floor is all salty. How's it going? Working?
There's a bit of sore.
Sore.
This hurts. Let's see how it ends up. Oh crap. Some cold water.
Quick.
Oh! Dang it. Oh! Catch my breath.
After just a day of being nearly becalmed in the ocean, something had crawled up into the knot meter and clogged it up. So Ty jumped in to clean it out and get it spinning again.
How's that boat knots?
Yes, we have some.
Goes. Sounds really cold.
Nah.
Since it was so calm and not super misty and cold outside, we all decided to take advantage of the conditions and jump in the ocean for our first real bath in quite a few days. The water was refreshing, but not that cold for being close to 300 miles offshore in the big blue Pacific, and we all felt much better afterwards. So after our swim this afternoon, we decided it was laundry day. We're washing all of our warm clothes that got soaking wet on the trip down and were all gross and musty smelling. Now they'll be nice and clean. So, it's 4th of July today.
Oh, it is 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
For the Americans.
For the Americans.
Out there.
Independence Day.
You know who you are. Not me. I'm kind of halfway.
Halfway.
Hey, the sky's clear enough. Even
I
more.
know. It's a nice day.
We may see fireworks tonight. We're like 100 miles.
About 100 miles from shore
Yeah, I
right
don't know
now.
if we'll see fireworks actually.
I doubt it.
Yeah, there'll have to be some big fireworks.
Really big fireworks.
Yeah, there's no sign of land. We haven't seen land in
9 days.
about 9 days.
Yeah, 9 days since we left. The last 2 days have been a huge change from the first week of the trip.
So do we think we'll be making landfall tomorrow?
Depending on how, we have about 100 miles, so depending on our speed.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Wonderful day.
Yeah, sunshine. We enjoyed a very tasty 4th of July dinner and prepared for an evening light show.
Excellent job, Hillary.
While we had a small celebration in store, the real show turned out to be one of the only sunsets of the passage that we got to enjoy that night, followed by a brief firework display.
Happy 4th of July.
Go. The following morning, day 10 of our passage, brought us to the edge of the continental shelf, closer to the California coastline, and lots of sea life. So, it's day 10 today, and we spotted land.
Whales.
And whales, and
Look up-
dolphins,
look
and
up the
sea
whales.
lions.
Sea lions.
Yeah, right? Literally, right when last night I was on watch, and I heard a security call on the radio, and it was super staticky, and I couldn't really hear it, but I thought I heard something about whales, which I thought was kind of weird. And then this morning, right when I first poked my head up to see how you were doing out here, you pointed and there's a whale jumping off on the horizon, a giant, huge whale.
He was breaching. He was having fun. He was like
Yeah,
leaping in the
his
air.
whole body was out of the water, and you could see the giant splash coming down.
Yeah. And then after that, we just saw heaps, right?
Yeah,
We saw
after that they got-
heaps of whales everywhere.
Not super close, but they got closer, and yeah, you could see them
Spouting,
spouting their
yeah.
air out.
Yeah.
We think they're humpback whales. We had a whole pod of
Couple of
dolphins like
pods.
following the boat. Yeah,
Spinnakers up.
spinnakers up, we're sailing.
About
Nice.
7 knots of wind.
Yeah, about 7 knots of
7
wind.
gusts
We're
of
doing
10. Yep.
making pretty good time here.
Cruising along.
So we see a sunfish here.
Is that going under the boat or something here? No, he's alive, swimming.
The ocean sunfish, also known as the mola mola, is a very strange looking fish, oval in shape with a fin on just the top and bottom. This guy was about 3 to 4 feet across, but they can grow up to 4 times bigger than this. Although usually spotted sunning themselves on the surface of the water, mola mola actually spend most of their time deep beneath the surface. And it was a lot of fun to be able to check this guy out. So, you going for a swim?
Yeah. Bath day.
You don't sound excited about it. Why are you wearing a wetsuit for your bath?
Because it's bloody cold. It's windy
In our excitement in seeing the sunfish and spending about an hour sailing circles around him, we had completely forgotten about our fishing lines that were out the back, and had wrapped them nicely around the rudder and the propeller. Ty got to jump in the much colder ocean today and was able to untangle the line without cutting it free. But lesson learned, pull in your lines before doing any crazy sailing patterns.
I think it's free.
I think it is too. Yep, you got it.
Right.
Good job, excellent.
It's not too bad once you get in. It's kind of warm.
Did you want the shampoo?
No, I'm alright, thanks actually. Yeah. I don't like to shampoo more than once a week.
On day 11, the time had finally come to make landfall. Our first destination was a little anchorage on Santa Cruz Island called Forney's Cove. This anchorage sits at the very northeastern tip of the island, protected by Fraser Point and a large kelp bed. So we just come to shore. Varuna anchored way out there. And we didn't make it through the waves, which is kind of what we expected. So, lesson learned, good thing we brought a change of clothes. Everything is wet and sandy. There's one about to break. That's about what we rode in.
Yeah, we just caught it just on the front side of it, so it surfed us in and then flipped us.
Yeah, we almost surfed it all the way, but we didn't quite make it. After drying off, we set off to explore the island. Santa Cruz is the largest of the Channel Islands and the largest island in California at over 20 miles long and 5 miles wide. It has a diverse landscape including 2 mountain ranges with valleys and canyons in between. However, the eastern end that we explored was very dry and desolate. Although the Channel Islands are now protected, Santa Cruz has an interesting history. Originally home to the native Chumash people, the island was later claimed by the Europeans and then the Americans. Santa Cruz became home to sheep and cattle ranchers in the 18 and 1900s, which prospered for a while stripping the land of much of its natural plant and animal life. We were able to find a few remnants of the island's ranching past. Eventually, due to legal and economic hardships, the ranching era ended, and the island became property of the Nature Conservancy and the National Park Service. The next day, it was time to head back into shore. As we sailed away from Santa Cruz, we were treated to some more spectacular sea life. Dolphins, sea lions, and after watching whales for several days, we finally caught one on camera. Here's a little replay, just in case you missed it the first time.
So we are straight to Santa Barbara that way right now.
Yeah, sailing on a nice reach. I know it should be there 3-4 hours, Santa Barbara, maybe less.
Dan doing the driving back there, wind vanes back up.
Got our mattress up here.
Yeah.
Aaron the mattress out, it got the very toe part of it got pretty soaked on our passage down.
We got to California and the weather here was crap. Sorry, Californians, but it was not hot. It was cold. It was colder and wetter in California than it was in
Oregon and Washington. Yeah. We approached Santa Barbara, where we'd be dropping off David, our crew, and headed for the seasonal anchorage located on the east side of Stearns Wharf.
So, what are you doing here?
Just backing a few things up on the computer before we go get this.
What did you
try to get this fixed? I didn't do anything.
It's like
it's our sad day for a computer.
When did that happen?
About halfway through the trip.
Stuff was flying around.
Stuff was flying around everywhere. We got a big wave that went on the computer.
So don't have good stuff sitting out.
Yeah. And then you jumped up to like dry it off and got the nice pelican case out for it, and we hit another wave when you got the pelican case out, and it went boom.
So we're on our way to get our Mac hopefully repaired.
Hopefully.
At a decent-ish price.
Hopefully, yeah. That was the computer we were using for our charts and everything.
Yeah.
Our weather routing, satellite stuff. So.
It's the only one we had, and that's what we used to bring you guys all the videos
All the videos, yeah. So we need to get that fixed so we can make some more videos.
We do.
It's bath day.
Hillary's taking a bath.
Afternoon bath.
Just off of Santa Barbara here. Now we get out and go to dinner.
Yeah, all clean now.
Last day of our crew member David. He's going to take us out to dinner tonight.
Farewell dinner. Just a short dinghy ride away from the pier, we hopped in a cab and drove up into the mountains high above Santa Barbara to a very cool spot for dinner. Cold Springs Tavern is actually an old stagecoach stop from the 1800s and has remained in the hands of the same family, retaining its authenticity and charm. Thanks so much to David, our crew member, for bringing us here and for helping us out and joining us for the passage down. Nice morning. The next morning, it was time to pack all of us and some luggage into Makara, row over to the pier, and climb up the steep ladder. It was then time to say goodbye to David. It was great having you on board. Would have been a very rough trip without your help, and we wish you all the best in your future sailing adventures.
So we're on our way to West Marine.
It's a pretty part.
It is.
West Marine, we found it.
Marine, all right.
On the passage down, one of the blocks for our starboard staysail sheet had cracked, so we needed to find a replacement. Next on the list of repairs was the lifeline that had broken free on the first day of our passage. Since there was no one around that was too helpful, we took over some of the tools and set up shop in the back corner of the store.
Looks good.
Yeah. We were able to salvage the cable and recalled some of our lifeline waging skills we learned earlier this year. There we go. To hand crimp a new fitting on. Look at that. We are hand crimped swage.
Crimped up. And
Yeah.
swaged, yep.
On our way back to the marina, we stopped by the Santa Barbara Historical Museum, which details the city's Spanish heritage and history. Then it was time to get back to the boat and head for a new port. We pulled up the anchor, cleaned off the kelp that had collected on it, raised the mainsail, and sailed out of Santa Barbara, bound for Ventura, about 20 miles down the coast. The wind was super light. Even in 5 knots of wind, we still managed to make a couple of knots of boat speed. We watched the oil rigs pass by off in the distance, which are a prominent feature along the California coastline. As the sun began to set, we turned on the engine and motored into Ventura just as darkness set in.
So we got an invitation from somebody who turned out to be a really good friend from Ventura and invited us down to the harbour and also Ventura Keys.
Yeah, so thanks so much, Scott, for getting in contact with us and hanging out, and we had a great time there.
Total legend, mate. Lent us car. I mean,
Yeah.
There's so much stuff. I mean, we got a lot done. Thank you, mate.
Huge help.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Where are we going?
We are going to go do some laundry.
Backpacks filled with laundry.
So excited. All of our stuff that got crazy soaked on the trip down.
Yeah.
I won't normally be going to laundromats, but I'm really excited about this laundromat.
Excited to have cleanish clothes.
Yeah, our stuff is wet, and you can see the moldy towels back
Yeah,
there.
we probably tossed these, right?
Yeah, some of the stuff got pretty bad on the trip down.
Got molded up really bad. I can do it without slipping. All good?
All good. After getting our laundry done, we walked over to the Channel Islands National Parks office that we were excited to learn was just around the corner from us in Ventura. We were excited to learn more about these amazing islands and their inhabitants so that we could plan a visit back out to them after our time in Ventura.
Hello.
Hello. Just hanging out with the fish. A sunfish. We saw hanging out, floating on the top of the water.
What looks funny about this guy?
Looking just like that, with no tail.
I was going to say, he's missing something.
He's like half a body, like just his head. The islands themselves are home to a huge variety of plant and animal life.
Where are we?
We're in the kelp forest. And in addition to the protected lands, also have marine preserves to help protect and repopulate a variety of marine life. So after our time exploring at the National Park Center, it was time to head back to the boat and take advantage of the dock to get some work done.
So we certainly had a couple of things that we needed to fix and look into. I'm sure there always is, right? But after our passage down, there was a couple of things we really wanted to straighten up.
Another item that had broken on our passage south was the block for the topping lift on our boom. Ty drilled out the rivets to remove the busted block. We are at Beacon Marine in Ventura, California. Thanks to the awesome local marine shop, we were able to get a replacement block for our topping lift ordered and delivered in just 2 days. Next, we removed the jerry-rigged lifelines that we had tied up and installed the newly crimped steel cable line.
As we were leaving Oregon, Astoria, or Waco, we noticed our AIS transceiver was not working. And we haven't been able to figure it out. At least I haven't been able to figure it out. It looks like it's a power issue, but you know, it's a sealed unit. I have no idea. I've traced all the lines, they all look good. And I'm still getting power to the splitter box, which runs this as well. So we're going to try and take it down to Oxnard, to an electronics store there. Unfortunately, I have a feeling it may be dead.
So, it's our little to-do list here. Let's see, we haven't gotten too much. We've gotten some floor mats, Staysel block we got, lifeline we got and replaced. AIS, we found out today, is no good anymore, so we had to buy a new one. Computer repair. Computer repair is no good. We had to get a new one of that too, but that came in today, and I'm gonna go drop Ty off at the airport so we can go do some immigration stuff and pick up our computer they couldn't repair. Still need to fix our topping lift. We just picked up that block. That local marine shop was super nice. They got it in quick for us. And I need to sew up our bimini window and a few more things on the list. This is our list of canned goods that we've taken out of our storage. So I'm gonna do a quick inventory of our dry goods, and then I'll do some shopping right after I drop Ty off at the airport. So yeah, getting some stuff done while we're here in Ventura at the dock. Super handy. Thank you, Scott. Thanks for the dock and the car. It's good to get some of these projects done. We drove back up to Santa Barbara, covering the short distance in just 40 minutes by car instead of the 4 hours it had taken us by sea just a few days earlier.
Bye again. See you tomorrow night.
See ya.
Bye-bye. I'll
Bye.
say deport me. Right, clear, dude.
Good luck if you get deported.
Santa Barbara Airport. Time to go get my Donald Trump on. I've got to get my fingerprinting done and deal with some immigration stuff. They don't like us foreigners.
After dropping Ty off at the airport to go take care of his fingerprinting appointment, I swung by the grocery store to resupply some of the provisions that we had used up on the trip south. So while Ty was up in Washington, he took some time to mail some t-shirts out to our patrons.
Yeah, one of the best things about Patreon is being able to interact with our patrons and provide what little we can as a reward to our patrons.
A huge thanks to all of our patrons, our subscribers, our followers. If you like the video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to become a patron, there's a link in the description below.
And don't forget to leave a comment on the YouTube, guys, and also on the Instagram account. We try and reply to all the comments a little less frequently now that we're out and about, but we definitely try and read it and get back to all of them.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot, and see you later.
See you later, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you to all of our patrons. You too can join us as we sail with a purpose. Click the Patreon logo to learn more. If you enjoyed our video, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for our latest updates, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Right. In the distance there you can see Santa Barbara. So named after a town that many people thought actually was inhabited by the very first Santa Clauses. Later on they turned out it was actually just from the cartoons, the Hanna-Barbera guys who did like Flintstones and everything. So in the name of Santa being Santa Claus and Barbara as in Barbera from Hanna-Barbera. That's how this town got its name. Bet you didn't know that one, eh?
So it's Bonza.
Bonza?